Breaking news report this morning. According to sources from the WBRZ investigative unit, former LSU wide receiver Kyren Lacy has passed away. We're told he took his own life ahead of an upcoming court date. You recall he was arrested earlier this year following a fatal hit-and-run crash in Lafourche Parish. He was facing charges, negligent homicide, and hit-and-run driving with serious injury or death. Kyren Lacy was 24 years old.
We've learned a former LSU wide receiver who was facing criminal charges in Louisiana died during a police pursuit right here in Houston. Now, here's what the Harris County Sheriff's Office is telling us tonight. It started after 11 Saturday night. Deputies with the Precinct 4 Constable's Office were called to a weapons disturbance. Apparently, Lacy was having an argument with a family member when he fired a gun into the ground. Now, by the time deputies arrived, Lacy had left. 20 minutes later, a unit spotted Lacy's vehicle and tried to stop him. There was a chase that went on for several miles, but ended when Lacy crashed along Aldine Westfield Road. When deputies were getting him from the vehicle, they found what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. HCSO believes the shot was fired during the chase. We're told an autopsy will be conducted on Lacy's body. Also, the Civil Rights Division of the Harris County District Attorney's Office will review the results of the investigation once it's finished, which is standard procedure when a death occurs during an attempted arrest.
The MIDI Lab Show.
They night usually get you, right? And it's like that across.
So, yeah, I had to loop on. My apologies. So, where should we start?
Hey, look, I can't drop the sentiment, bro. I'm going to withhold it and give it to y'all on an unedited version on a Monday or Tuesday. But look, here's the sentiment here's what I wish to convey to y'all. It's so important that if you are conflicted between yourself, that you seek help. There's things that happen in your life. You think that the weight of the world on your shoulders and you can't handle it. Talk to somebody. That don't not make you a man. Hey, it make you more one to be able to confront it and talk about it. Hey, look, talk about your issues, because when it boil over, we lose kings and queens.
All right.
So, man.
Hey, what I want to say. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I just wanted to say I love this sentiment. That was man. Come on, Jag. You trying
I also want to say this though. You have certain type. You have a certain type of people, man. Everybody's not built the same way. You know what I'm saying? I had a friend of mine. I ain't gonna say his name, but he was so feared of going to prison that he got buff and like he would never ever submit to prison. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I gotta get buff. If I go to prison, I'm gonna get raped. You know what I'm saying? People had that fear, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, at the same time, he was asserting these allegations, but also he had that fear of going to prison. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Getting jumped, getting raped. He a celebrity. They finna try to drive that guy. You know what
Don't Ja Morant your life away.
Don't. You know what I'm saying? Much respect, much love. I mean, my condolences to the family. You know what I'm saying? I had a friend that couldn't take that same thing, and you know what I mean, and it changed everybody's life. But you know,
was that Mama House 18?
What?
Was that Mama House? The song?
Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to check in. I'm just tapping in. We're going to play it again one day. We played it once for y'all, but we're going to play it again when y'all hear Mama House.
All right. But I'm going to go ahead and digress. And that's all I wanted to say about that. I don't have anything else.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Breezy,
Beautiful.
Would you like to set a sentiment, Breezy?
I'm just letting everybody get it out because I've got a lot of. I hate to say it. I don't even know what one could consider a lot of experience. I say if you've dealt with these types of things more than nowadays a handful or better, you've got a lot. And in my line of work and in my life experiences, man, I've had some people do that to themselves and do it to other people. And my opinion on it, we keep stressing the whole mental health thing. And it's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to live like it. It's like in our society, we pushing cheeseburgers and fried chicken 24/7 on the TV screen, people smoking and drinking all the time. But then we telling everybody, oh, you need to be fit, but we don't advertise fit. And when we do, it's in the sense of objectification, not in the sense of just being healthy. And so, my issue with this is we can talk about mental health, but we're not doing the things that require good mental health. We usually don't even address the issues that bring things like this along. If we do our research, it was a point in time where most people that came from an impoverished neighborhood or hard backgrounds did commit suicide. I mean, you was fighting to live, just to give up your life. You know what I'm saying? And especially in a culture, the culture that we're familiar with, which typically glorifies prison. So to me, there's some big, huge, glaring red lights right there that probably need to be analyzed. But the other thing is understanding where suicide comes from, where mental health issues come from. It's not inherent for a person to want to destroy themselves. It's not. If you have people who cut themselves, people who do certain things to themselves, it's a huge indication of trauma, because naturally you're programmed to preserve yourself, not to end yourself. And so, it's not right there in the moment. It's everything leading up to that moment, right? Like it's everything you did before that. So if we wanted to compare it again to being healthy, it's not when you find out you have diabetes. It's everything you should have been doing beforehand to prevent it. One of the things that we fail to recognize, I believe, is where this thing truly comes from. And if y'all didn't know, for those of us who do believe, suicide is a spirit of influence. How numbers have grown so quickly. Like, what are we pushing today that makes people want to kill themselves? And they say that anybody who's been exposed to a suicide, it increases their likelihood that they'll go out there and commit it, right? How is suicide contagious? Is it a bacteria? Like, what is it?
I kind of go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, those are the type of questions one should be asking, because we're seeing it happen more and more often with people. How we've gotten to this point, and that the true answers are usually the ones that are going to not be popular, because it requires some level of sacrifice, especially on behalf of those people in positions of power. Again, as a king goes, so goes a nation. But this is sad. It's an outcry, and it's happening nationwide. The only thing we can do is talk about, hey, let's talk about mental health. What are we doing about mental health?
Right. It's big facts, though.
I mean, it's huge. It's huge. And I think those of us who go back a ways, we know what it's like to get that phone call and to be amazed. Because I don't care how many times it happens, you don't never see it coming.
Never expected it.
You can see somebody being volatile. You like, no, I mean, I can see the person getting in trouble, but getting that call, you never see that coming.
Right.
And so
the bridge just breaks at a certain point. You know what I mean? It's like you can only take so much and hear so much when you go against yourself already in your mind as an individual. Right. It seems like an instigative sense breeds suicide, or in a sense of
self-destruction.
Yeah, if you feel that there's something wrong with you, there's something that you feel, you're gonna sit there and joke about it on the next person to low-key make yourself feel better about how you feel, while not realizing that they're already on a toothpick trying to play kerplunk. Like, it ain't, you just got to realize, you got to open your eyes and realize what's around you and what you feed to people.
I would say they're already on a path. You know what I'm saying? You could try to divert them from that path, but when somebody got tunnel vision, they're not gonna see you. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta speak loud, man. Speak up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Somebody that that's in trouble. It's not anxiety didn't got him. You know what I'm saying? Life then tied up some things, man. Talk, man. These people want to talk to somebody, man.
So this is for the believers. Y'all don't believe, don't even pay me no mind. But in the gospel in Timothy, Paul tells Timothy, God
The
is
MIDI
not
Lab
giving you
Show.
the spirit of fear, but a power, love, and sound mind. So when Paul tells Timothy that, he says, God has not given us a spirit of fear. One, it implies that fear is a spirit, right? So anxiety is fear. So when anxiety comes against you, it is a spirit talking to you, many times using your own voice. You weren't born with anxiety. Most of us remember we was on the playground and we didn't have not a care in the world. We was more worried about candy and dessert and when we was going home and what cartoons was coming on. Anxiety wasn't an issue. So again, these are things that you know, when I say how was it being passed on, is it a bacteria? I'm asking a facetious question, because at the end of the day, it has to do with spiritual influence, and this is why we don't harness it, because we don't want to call it what it is. These thoughts and ideas that keep coming to you ultimately are not your own, but because it sounds like it's your voice, we adopt it. Once we adopt it, we do believe it's us, and then we fall into this whole submission thing. We only listen to music that we agree with. Right? I don't care what anybody tells me. When you slap something and you bob your head to it, you agree with it. If the lyrics contain certain things, you wouldn't agree with it. So if certain things were said to you, you would reject them if you didn't find agreement with it. And that's going back a ways. But you know, like you were saying, like, it didn't just happen in the spur of the moment. That had to have been a reoccurring thought that eventually started to gain momentum.
Yeah. Word.
Big facts.
Hey,
X, you're muted. Extra, you muted, bro.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. I didn't want to be talking over y'all.
Okay.
I do need some extra credits.
I'm gonna be fast with it, man. At the end of the day, it hurts the family. You got to remember, in Black culture, a lot of these people are banking on one person to get them out the hood or out the slum or out the ghetto or whatever you want to call it. They're trying to get them out of that area that they're in right now. And the thing is that we have to embrace those young brothers and sisters and help them get to the next level before this happens, before these tragic things and these cautionary tales happen. Let's embrace these young brothers and sisters and let's get them to the next level. Kind of like how the OGs back in the day would do. Like if you came on the block and you don't sell dope and you came asking to sell dope, nah, bro, go rap, go dribble, go. Right. I'm gonna make sure you make it, bro. You don't need to. I
seen your credit. I seen your what do they call it? The with the grades. I didn't see your report card, bro. Like what you out here trying to prove?
Right. Yeah. Hey. So
what the institution told me to.
Yeah. Come on, to that, it's just to say, man, understand out here, you know, in our culture, you know, we got to embrace the ones that's the, you know, the chosen ones or the golden oknow, or, you know, God's favorite, if that's how you want to look at it. You know what I mean? Just talent. You know what I mean? It's not. I know we're all God's favorite. It's just talent. You know what I mean? The person that has the most talent, the most athleticism, the most range and vocal, or whatever it may be, charisma, the most accounting experience to get us to the next level in finance, whatever it may be. We need to embrace those people, especially in the Black, Latino, and Asian communities, to make sure that those people make it out so they can help us all make it out. So
we need a representative that look like us, that think like us. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. Thank you for that. X, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, no. You're good. You're good. Mike Genius, would you like to tap in and grab a sentiment for us, please?
You know what, man? I'm gonna keep it real simple. Y'all hear me all the time talk about how precious life is, man. There's something. I've been in my company now for over 12 years. Same company. It's a great company to work for. And one of the reasons it's a great company to work for was the first week I got there, I was trying to figure out some stuff. Somebody stopped and asked me, you know, because they could see I was overwhelmed. They stopped and asked me, have you reached out to somebody? And I was like, what do you mean? And they said, it is a weakness. Our company philosophy is that it is a weakness not to ask for help. You cannot do everything on your own. That's why it takes a village. And so I will reiterate that sentiment to everybody watching this. Please share this with anybody you ever come in contact with. It takes a village. Reach out, ask for help. It is a weakness not to. It really is. It really is. This is not meant for anybody to ever do it alone. That's not what life is about. Otherwise, we would never bunch up and be with each other. You know what I'm saying? We would all be nomads, bro. So ask for help. Find people you trust, man, and reach out to them and tell them, hey, brother, I'm not feeling it today, man. I need you to pick me up. I need you to hold me strong, man. And that's whether you believe in the Bible or friendship or love. It don't matter what you believe in. Believe in yourself and believe in the people around you. That's word.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, that's church, man. To the cube sentiment of what you're talking about, you got to
Actually-
open your eyes and realize as well that just as much as what Mike's saying is that you go forward and believe in yourself, keep your eyes open in your peripherals and realize the people around you that have been beat down and broken through life, that don't believe that they can do anything anymore, and put all the weight on your shoulders. Not only is that hurting you, it's hurting them. So you got to realize ultimately what's going on in order to help everybody village. Like Mike said, to the cube root, y'all, you cannot do it by yourself. And if you continue to believe that you can, you'll go so far. And at one point, that pressure, that spiritual pressure, gonna bend you, man. And it's supposed to.
X, you was on mute when you was talking, man. You wanna come forward and say something?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was actually talking to IG. I was just kind of like briefing them on what was going on in regards to Kyren Lacy.
Yeah.
But I will say this right quick to say that clip that you're showing in the back with him smiling and the candidness, like, look at that young brother, man. That's all us. That could be any one of us, any one of our children, any one of our people, nephew or anything. This type of brother needs to be in the league. This type of brother needs to have a great career. This type of brother needs to lead a great life. He doesn't need to be dealing with this type of stuff, man. You know what I mean? This shouldn't even be on the agenda nor the menu. That's all I got to really say, man. We got about 5 minutes or so, to spare. So anybody else want to?
I just think it goes back to. I feel like it goes back to tools, man. Like the biggest thing is the toolery. Somebody had to introduce the thought and the idea for everybody else to fall on the grenade, so to speak. It is the tools, and again, we talk about it, but a lot of us don't walk about it. And I'm not saying that to be critical. I'm saying I'm calling it what it is. And in our culture today, we have so many things that isolate us, I think. And I don't think it's the problem. I think it's a contributor, right? I mean, there's so many things. The tools that we have available to us, technologically speaking, are great tools when properly managed. When we don't use that to replace, human contact. That's just one thing. There's so many other things out there. But I go back to the previous comment about looking at how often it happens today and who it's happening to, right? And then asking the question, like, how did we get here? And then backtracking and addressing that. Well, I personally hear it a lot when it comes to the whole mental health thing. Hey, make sure you're speaking out. Make sure you have people you can trust. I hear that a lot.
Yes, sir.
It's the other things I think that's not necessarily being addressed. We look at the things that transpired for this young man before this happened, right? How did he get in these situations? I tell my kids, don't gamble anything you're not willing to lose, right? Don't even when you lose your temper, man, that coming back. Sometimes you can do damage that apologies can't fix. So it's looking at growing up with a certain discipline, right? And not putting ourselves in certain positions, things like that. I think there's a whole collection of issues here that probably need to be addressed.
Good point.
The MIDI Lab Show.